Moi, je n'ai pas oublié les images de tes films. Le visage de Cléo.
J'ai adoré voir depuis le train les yeux que tu as collés sur des containers. Ce qui est drôle, c'est qu'on ne se soit pas croisés depuis le temps.
The original French title of Faces Places is Visage Village, meaning Faces Villages. This was made jointly by Agnès Varda, who was born in 1928, and the photographer and muralist J.R., who was born in 1983. Quite a few years difference. The village part more precisely reflects the film's substance and the directorial duo's intentions. Both of them are considered directors. They travel in JR's van, which is equipped with a photo booth and a large format printer. They go in this to small towns in France, which are infused with nostalgia, just like small American towns. They are also similarly threatened by the economic and the social forces of our modern life. Agnès Varda, the name alone invokes a smile on my face. She is approaching 90 in May, still working despite failing eyesight and a couple of other body parts that are failing. But the smile comes to me with a real bite of my lip. I admire her so much, not just because she's defying the predictable image of old age, but because I believe she is a woman who has truly lived her life, gone after life, endured great sorrow and hurt, picked herself up, and gone on. She's always looking for the new experience, the next person, the humor, the real feelings. She's broad-minded, intelligent, savvy, warm, and articulate. She is her own person. Could anyone receive a higher accolade than that? Agnès had her own life, however, and she went on to make many films. She lived a distinctively individual life in Paris, on Rue Daguerre, in a distinctively individualistic house with cats and some friends. She then entered the later part of her career, making 3 outstanding autobiographical films, which are called documentaries, but to me they are really in a class of their own. It's exquisite filming of the people who lived on her street in Daguerreotypes. The Gleaners and I, the Beaches of Agnès, and now she joins forces with J.R., a French photographer who enlarges these photos and makes them into art structures. And this, of course, is Faces Places, Visage Village. It tells many, many stories, but here is Agnès, sometimes with a cane, her two-tone head of hair moving along out in the middle of it all. She's involved, she's alive, creative, just letting her imagination lead her where it might. My favorite quote from Agnès truly places her squarely in the middle of the times in which she lives. She says, "I'm not at all a theoretician of feminism. I did all that, my photos, my craft work, my film, my life. I did it all on my terms, my own terms. It has nothing to do with or without a man. It's me." In an age where our sexual identity is becoming more muted, more varied at different times in our lives, she's a shining example for all women and men. Be yourself. I feel I would be utterly pretentious and ridiculous trying to describe her life when she has done so magnificently herself on film. Perhaps the enormous beauty of Varda is that she is a person who will be 90 and is still living her own life. She's interested in people. It's obvious when you see her fix her gaze on someone that they are meeting in one of the small villages they landed in. She's a filmmaker who has grown with the times and tech of her profession. She has had to adapt to all these new technologies, and she has done so. There's a lesson for all of us in this. She's adapted, she's learned, she's adjusted. She does not seem focused in any way at all on the past. She keeps around her things that matter to her deeply, but for the most part, she lives in the present. What a thought this is. She is not her children nor her grandchildren. She is herself. Her imagination guides her. She is a woman who makes films. She lives her life fully. She never stops, but acknowledges that life will slow you. It will slow you in many ways and at many times in your lifetime. But you go on.